So I'm going to show you the bottom level of how I'm going to build out the impulse elevator. The first thing we need to do is get rid of that indicator. Since I'm going to build the drop, shoot, catch right here, I'm going to create two ramps, one there, and then I'm going to put in a bit of track, and we're going to bring it down to, we're going to curve it to re-rail it, try and keep it away from the control system, and we'll bring it back into our system to load it with Magma. Now, we're going to remove that track stop, and then we're going to run our track right to the wall there. Now, we're going to dig this out. Now remember, this is the center of the impulse elevator. So we're going to come up here, we're going to make a turn, we're going to ramp twice, we're going to go up one, we're going to ramp again, then we're going to repeat the process. A flat, two ramps, and another ramp. I'll walk over why that's important. So what I'd like to do here is I'm going to speed this up in the back, and I'm going to go over how the impulse elevator works. If you take a look at the wiki, the impulse elevator that's described there has a couple of issues. The primary issue is that it's constantly gaining speed as it rises up through the system. When that happens is eventually it derails about every 5 Z's, hits the wall, rolls back up onto the impulse ramp, then comes back up and may continue on. If it doesn't continue, what you end up with is a rocking horse where it keeps going between the next upward curve and back into the impulse ramp. This is incredibly dangerous for your dwarves, and it takes forever to try and either let the cart settle out or to try and get a dwarf in there to clear the system. What I have done is I have designed a different form of impulse elevator. It's just a slight variation on the technique that doesn't cause this problem. So the key to making an impulse elevator to work is this setup right here. You start with a flat turn on every other level, then you do your impulse ramp, again, on every other level, then you do your upward curve. This, if anybody recognizes it, is from my ore dropper photos. The impulse ramp here is a northwest. You can reverse this system into whatever direction you need it to go. And then the upward curve goes up to the next level. On the next Z level up, there's two things of interest. The primary thing of interest is the straight upward ramp. There's no impulse on this level. The straight upward ramp bleeds off the energy from the impulse ramp and the next turn after it because the carts teleport through portions of this system. This forces it to bleed off enough speed. The other portion on this Z that's of interest is the shunt. This rocking horse shunt, in case anything goes wrong in your system, in case your cart malfunctions, in case there's a crash, this will force the cart to back up and off the rail so it can be safely recovered without ending up in a rocking horse on any of the system. This just saves you a lot of injuries and a lot of trouble in cart recovery in case anything goes wrong. Now I thought you'd be a little interested to see in how I go through the cavern area. This is in the safe zone, and I just dig the normal pattern, but over here I need to drop in a wall so that I don't have any problems with carts possibly derailing or anything like that. The system shouldn't derail, but there's no reason not to be secure in how I'm dealing with the system. Here I just made a mistake. I had to cancel it back out. I got pretty lucky. I can just come right through this area here, and we're off and running again. Right through the system, simple and easy. After punching through cavern 2, the rest of this was pretty smooth sailing. I just built the impulse elevator up to the Z height I needed. I checked around a couple of times, made sure I was where I wanted to be. A little southeast of the OMG trap, a little west of my main build. I'm on the forge level, which is down in the marble. Then, if you've been observing, you'll notice I didn't build the shunts into the system as I came up. The reason for that is I like to double check the elevator by going back down and rebuilding the shunts afterwards. It's just down or up 4, put in your dig, but what it does is it lets you watch the cycle of the rotation and make sure that nothing got off kilter, you didn't gap a step, you didn't put too many ramps on one level, things like that. It just lets you watch, and it's worth the double check just to make sure, because this is a lot of digging and it's a lot of rebuilding if you have to put in walls, new ramps, things like that. It's much easier just to dig it once, ramp it up, and off you go. After this, we just have to hook up to the magma system. So now what we're going to do is figure out where we want to drop our magma down into our system from. I'm thinking this corner over here seems probably our best bet. Probably the best defended. So this is the corner, so I'm going to want to channel through the ceiling there. Now, because of the nature of this, I'm going to make sure that I can get miner access to this without getting my guys killed. The reason being is I need to run track here. So we're going to channel these 3 slots here. I'm going to remove the channeling here so I don't end up with flying dwarves. Now, we're going to run our minecart line right along the way here. Right next door to that. We're going to put a track stop right here. And just so it'll dump. Now we're going to want to go up 1 Z level to get back to our channel that's there. So I'm going to just bring it down south here, line it up. I'll bring it here. We'll ramp here. I may need an impulse ramp along here just to give it enough oomph to get up here. That will be part of testing. And then we just run it over to the channel here. It'll run into this wall and it'll drop straight down. So that will be our minecart delivery system. It'll be simple enough. It's just going to take a little bit to mine out, and then we're going to have to carve it. And, well, I'll bring you back when we get to that stage. I'm going to let them start digging. My goodness, we are finally ready to begin testing the Magma Dumper. We had this thing dug out in about 6 months. It took us the next 2 years due to a number of little things that went on to get all the rock cleared out of it. I was afraid I'd miss something with forbids or stuff like that. So, quick overview of the design here. Same thing as above. We've got 3 trap doors with cart loaders. Right now, only the first cart loader is hooked up. This is going to be our test run. This is just a slowing path because the idea is as it comes down, it'll trigger a plate to release the next one, rinse, repeat, so I'll have them gapped going into the system. They hit this curve, go through the magma loader, head up into our impulse elevator. Eventually they drop back down here through the channel, re-rail, and either they'll loop here, if we're still loading, or when I tell it to, we'll drop off and get out of the circuit here. The entire thing is just one big loop, so we're going to skip up to the top. One thing I forgot to show you before is coming out of the impulse elevator, I need a re-rail curve. When we come over here, I built this access path just to make things a little quicker and easier. These doors are locked, and they will pretty much stay that way for until the end of time. Well, barring accident or problem with the minecart where I got to go recover it. Now, down here, this is our dump. We have a minimum friction track stop here. Dumps here, dumps into our magma slot. So, since we're going to start playing with magma, we're going to want to close all the maintenance shafts. So, first things first, close the maintenance hatch. And which one releases the first cart? That one does. We're going to leave the cart catcher down because we only want this to go through one run. And once this happens, eventually, just pulling the lever. Oh, welcome to the vomitorium. We had some problems with the dust cutting everybody nauseous earlier, and it just became an utter mess. Okay, he's about to pull that, so we're going to go downstairs. I want K. We're going to go into the minecart. I can set a follow hotkey, so I'm going to give it Shift F8. It should release here shortly. There it goes. So we're going to follow it through the system. There it goes through that. Wow, that really slowed it down. Okay, that's one too many slowdowns. So, be right back. We're going to go correct that design. So, sorry about that. We're just waiting on our lever puller to get up here again. Androcon's got it. He's not too far. He'll get up here in a moment. There we go. All right. So we're going to go watch our minecart. Pop it. There it goes. Into the system. Just kind of wanders in. Goes through the magma. Let's just double check something. It is filled with magma. Whoops. Let's go follow that again. Up through the system. As you can tell, it moves pretty damn quick. Runs through here. Alright, I'm going to slow it down here. I want to make sure that everything goes as planned. Okay, there goes our magma. It's taking its sweet time dropping. Okay, we'll go back to the minecart in a second. Alright, cool. So we're just going to follow it up. I'm going to see if it gets up this ramp. Nope. Okay, I'm going to need a booster. So we're just going to see where this thing lands. And it should go down into one of the shunts. Dropped. Yep, right into the shunt. Okay. So we're going to open up the doors here so that they can carry the minecart back down. We're going to build a booster. Oops. Construction track ramp northeast. We're going to build that here. Out of Gabbro blocks. Alright, I will bring you back. Oops, sorry. Well, I gotta reset that hatchway so that it's turned back on, so it's blocking everything. And once the track's reset and that's built, I'll bring you back in. Alright, so we're on round 3 of our test. We've already pulled the lever, and away we go. Get down into there, hit the magma. It's nice to know that I didn't misalign anything when I was carving all those tracks out. Roll through the system. Dump some magma. Hit the booster, pop up, slam into the wall. Drop straight down, hit our rerouter. We are good to go. Now I'm going to build up some pressure plates so I've got chaser carts in there. Hey guys, I was just doing a test on the lava loader with the 3 carts. And I ran into the bug I wanted to show you guys. If you'll notice here, I've got an iron minecart. It's in my stocks. When I zoom to it, I come here, and I'm in the magma loader. Inside the magma loader, I don't see the cart. It's there, but it's not there. It's just really screwy. I'm not entirely sure what's causing it. I just know that you've lost the cart at this point. You can't get it back. It's just gone. Even another cart won't hit it and knock it out. So one of the things I was going to do was I was going to expand this track system because I can load a whole lot more mine carts into this system. So I was going to do that before I brought you back to show you how it worked, but I wanted to show you this bug. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you our magma loader. Our gentleman is ready to pull the lever. I'm going to head down to where that's going to fire up. If I can unhook from him. First cart gets popped out. Drops the second cart in. Which should drop the third. That drops the fourth in. Now you'll notice I stopped doing quite as many loops in the back because we needed some speed. Which drops the sixth, and which drops the seventh. So we have a whole ton of minecart in the loop. And it's just enough time to make sure that we don't get anybody on the backdrop. So they're all going up, and that's our first cart coming down for a refill. And now we just got to let our system load. If we come up here, this had all evaporated before. Our carts are coming by at a pretty reasonable rate. They've all got a decent spacing to them. These are a little tight, but that's okay. We don't have any collisions going on. Everybody's got a good distance from each other. Don't see any carts quantum stockpiling. Our magma loader is a success. This will take a little bit to fill in for a while. So I'll bring you back for the next portion of FurnaceClans. Once this is all filled up and we're ready to punch a hole into the surface and start feeding the undead into the lovely Overfiend Magma Grinder. I shall talk with you guys for the next part. Have a great day.